Hey there, welcome back. Alright, this is the third installment in this series about inductive/deductive reasoning. And here we are. This is a question we just did together in video 2, okay? And I thought about it a bit, and I told you, and this will keep as a rule really, that the best thing to do when you see questions like this is to come up with something that I called complementary sentences. Here was an example of one, alright? So that first sentence there, that question labeled question 14 says, most of the people going on a trip to Italy speak Italian. And I told you that the sentence that would complement that is this one. That some people going on the trip don't speak Italian. So what does it mean when I write a complement? It's the sentence that when you put it together with the one that you're considering, makes the sentence complete. It makes all possibilities, it covers all possibilities. All possibilities are covered. So here they're talking about the fact that most people speak Italian that are going on this trip. But then for the opposite, it's like kind of like, alright, it's like if I talk about heads when I'm talking about a coin. The complement to talking about heads when I talk about a coin is to talk about tails. Because tails is as much a part of a coin as heads. There you go. That's a perfect analogy, alright? And that's what you have to do for each sentence involved. Write them down, actually. And once you spell them out, once you have figured out a complement for every sentence involved, you will see that one of the sentences that you are given as a conclusion corresponds with them, and that the rest won't, because they'll contradict one of either the sentences in here or the complements that you created. Okay? So we did create a complement for this first one here. It said most of the people going on a trip to Italy speak Italian. And then I wrote as a complement that some people going to the trip don't speak Italian, because that has to be true. They are not mutually exclusive. Alright? You can't land on heads and tails at the same time. You either land on heads or tails, right? But here the situation is different, because it is possible to go on a trip where most people are speaking Italian, and to go on that same trip and have a few people who don't speak Italian at all. Okay? That's completely possible, right? And then let's look at that second part. It says, however, some of them are not very fluent. Now that's a tricky one. That's the part of the sentence it's hard to make a complement for, but we can still watch. So let's move this up. We didn't do this last time. We were able to even solve it without making a complement, but if you wanted to, you could. What if I said to you, some of my friends are not tall. What if I said that to you? Some of my friends are not tall. Alright? Did I tell you that any of my friends are short? No. I didn't tell you some of my friends are short. Did I tell you that some of my friends are tall? Let's say here, very tall, because they said very fluent, right? We're trying to make a sentence that's parallel to this one, that's like the same sort of thing, right? However, some of them are not very fluent. And as a kind of like more common example, I'm saying some of my friends are not very tall. So did I tell you that some of my friends are short? No. Did I tell you that some of my friends are very tall? No, I didn't tell you that either. I said some of my friends are not very tall. Did I tell you that some of my friends are very short? No. You can't assume any of these things to be true, because some of my friends might be short. You can assume that. If I tell you some of my friends are not very tall, you can conclude that some of my friends might be short, that some of my friends might be very tall, and that some of my friends might be very short. You can conclude all these things as long as what you put beneath them is might. But you will realize when you do the SHSAT that they almost never include might. That the sentences end the way that one does, which is with the word watch. There's that question again on the trip to Italy. Look what it says. Based only on the information above, which of the following must be true? And almost all the questions in the books that I've studied end like that. They're asking about certainties. And so though some of my friends might be short, some of my friends might be very tall, and some of my friends might be very short, based on this one sentence that I said, that some of my friends are not very tall, these are not definites. Okay? You have to find somewhere in this sentence something that is definite. For example, here was our definite, that some people going on the trip don't speak Italian. That's definitely true, that some of them don't speak Italian. Because it says that most of the people going on the trip speak Italian. Think of a pie, alright? And I tell you that I have a pie, and the pie is a pepperoni pie, but it's not all pepperoni actually. But most of the pie is pepperoni. Is it safe to assume that some of it is not pepperoni? Yes, because I said most of the pie is pepperoni. It's safe to assume that some small portion, perhaps even big portion, right, is not pepperoni. Because I said most of the pie is pepperoni. I never said the whole pie was pepperoni. And that's the way you have to think about it, alright? So we're going to go on to another actual SHSAT question. Keep in mind that this is a real one. And this is as hard as they're ever going to get, really, when it comes to these. Remember, I broke it down into 3. Relative position, placement questions, coding questions, and then these kind, which I've decided to call inductive/deductive reasoning questions, alright? And this is an actual one. And you solved it along with me in video 2 of this series. Alright, so let's go on to the next one. Again, you want to write the 2 things that you should do, and don't worry, we will summarize. We will always summarize. The 2 things you want to do, though, number 1 is write down keywords. What are keywords? The restrictive ones, the absolute ones, the possibility ones. You want to write down the restrictive words when you see them, and then you want to write complementary sentences. All right? So, here's our next one. It's question 12 from that same book. All right? It says, Crystal will not play soccer if Anita does. Anita will play soccer if Jerry is not late to school. Nice. All right. It says Krista will not. Will not. It's the same thing as never in a way. Why? Because it's an absolute. Crystal will never play soccer if Anita does. All right. So if Anita is on the court, if Anita's playing soccer, Krista is not playing soccer. Alright? What is the opposite of this? Is it that Krista is playing soccer if Anita isn't? That's tempting, but it's not. Remember when I said that some of my friends are not very tall? You cannot from that. If I said, let's write it down again. Some of my friends are not very tall. This sentence is a bit like that first sentence in this question, question 12. Some of my friends are not very tall. Can you conclude with certainty that some of my friends must be very short? No. That some of my friends must be very tall? No. Possibly some of my friends are tall. Possibly some of my friends are very short. But we cannot conclude those possibilities with certainty. Okay? They're just possibilities. Because this is just saying that some of my friends are not very tall. Okay? Same here. Crystal will not play if Anita does. This doesn't mean that if Anita is not playing, Crystal is playing. No. It says that Crystal will not play soccer if Anita does. So, here's how it works. If you have to write it backwards, that's the best way to look at this. Don't focus on Krista, focus on Anita. Anita is not playing. Then, let's focus on not. If Anita is not playing, then what? Then Crystal, here's the most important word, might be playing. Here's a compliment. That if Anita is not playing, then Crystal might be playing. But if Anita is playing, then Crystal is definitely not playing. This here is the proper complement to that first sentence. You cannot, it is not safe to assume. I haven't even seen the answers yet, but I bet you that the answer is that, oh, if Anita is not playing, Crystal is playing. No, and this does not even suggest that. It just suggests that Crystal will not play if Anita does. But that doesn't mean that if Anita doesn't play, Crystal will play. She might be playing. She might not. It just definitely means this and nothing more. You're not allowed to inject information, to insert information from your own mind. Alright? Who cares if you think you know a lot of girls like Crystal? You don't know anything about Crystal, alright? Now, next one. Anita will play soccer if Jerry is not late to school. Alright? So now we're talking about Anita, right? She was the subject. She was, well, not the subject. Well, she was one of the subjects in that sentence. So we have Anita will play soccer if Jerry is not late to school. Alright. What is a complement to this? Let's think about it. Anita will play soccer if Jerry is not late to school. So what is the opposite of Jerry not being late to school? Alright. So, if Jerry is on time, what happens? Anita will play soccer if Jerry is not late to school. But look, it says will. Nice. That's exactly what we wanted. What does will mean? It means definite or certain. Looks good. This time it's different. This time it is actually saying that Anita will play soccer if Jerry is not late to school. That she will play soccer. Not she might. See, before here there was like a might involved. See? Crystal might be playing if Anita is not playing. Here, there's not a might. Alright? Look at the word if. If makes a condition. It says that if Jerry is not late to school, then Anita will play soccer. She will. Not she might. She will. Because we said that will is what? One of our absolute words, right? See it there? It's a good thing we wrote that list. If we ever encounter a new one, I'll add it on. But you can be sure that that's really just about it. Maybe 2 or 3 more for the whole thing. Alright? So, if Jerry is on time, Anita, I'm very sorry about everything not fitting. Anita is playing. Alright, so let me try to move this over. Okay? Nice. So, 2 complements. Let me separate them. Here's one complement. Here's another complement. So the first one says, the first one corresponds to that first sentence. Crystal will not play soccer if Anita does. What's the complement to that sentence? That if Anita is not playing, Crystal might be playing. But are they asking us might? Well, let's see. How does it end? Like all of them, look. There it is. Crystal will not play soccer if Anita does. Anita will play soccer if Jerry is not late to school. Based only on the information above, which of the following must be true? If they asked us which of the following might be true, it's totally different. But they're asking us which of the following, from the choices that they provide, which of the following, not might, which of the following must be true. And which one is about definite stuff, certain stuff, will. We found it. It was right there. And we were able to detect it because I gave you that list, right? Will is a word that refers to what? To absolutes. See? Alright, good. So, we made our complementary sentences. We saw that the word will not means never. And we saw that the word will means definite. And let's look at our choices and think about them together. F. If Jerry is late to school, Krista will play soccer. Does it say that anywhere? No. This one says, if Jerry's on time, she will play soccer. And if that one says, Anita will play soccer if Jerry is not late to school. Does anything say, does anything out of what we wrote down? We wrote all the possibilities. This, and that. The 4 possibilities. These two were drawn out of these, right? Just like if I tell you something about heads on a coin, you can equally tell me as much about tails, right? Same thing. This is the tails to that heads, and this is the tails to that heads. Alright? And these are all the possibilities that exist. The choices given in the book have to confirm them. If Jerry is late to school, Krista will play soccer. Is that confirmed by anything that we have written down there? No. Nothing that we wrote down says that if Jerry is late to school, Krista will play soccer. Not what they wrote, nor what we wrote as true complements. So we crossed it out. Next one says, if Anita does not play soccer, Crystal will play soccer. Will, definite. Let's see. We have one that kind of seems to match it. That if Anita is not playing, Crystal might be playing. But wait, we were only able to say might. They, in their answer, CG, if Anita does not play soccer, Crystal will play soccer. Will is a definite. Look at ours. It's a good thing we wrote it. We wrote might, not will. So that one's not true. Because ours, which is the true one, says that the only thing that we can say based off this statement is that Crystal might be playing soccer. Because nothing in there indicates that she definitely will be playing soccer if Anita doesn't. Look at H. If Jerry is on time, Anita will play soccer. Does that match any of the things that we have written down? That if Jerry is on time, Anita will play soccer. Yes, it matches this one. It matches that one. Look at it again. There it is. Remember, you're able to pause it. That's why I show you these questions and answers twice. And it's nice and clear. It's H. See? If Jerry is on time for school, Anita will play soccer. Let's go on and read the other ones anyways. Anita will not play soccer if Jerry is late to school. Nope. Is that the flip side to any of these statements? No. The flip side to this statement is here. And the flip side to this statement is here. It says Anita will play soccer if Jerry is not late. And option J says Anita will not play soccer if Jerry is late. Anita will not play soccer if Jerry is late. No. That's kind of like this one. If Jerry is late, she might play soccer, or she might not. There's no certainty. It's sort of like this one. Okay? So nothing about option J is supported from what we drew out. You could have actually drawn out that statement too. That if Jerry is late, Anita might be playing soccer. But that would also be a might statement. And for some reason, the SHSAT has questions that always end with must. But let's not make an error, right? Because what do we learn from inductive reasoning? That just because a lot of the stuff you see is one way, it doesn't mean that all of the stuff has to be that way. So let's not be like the brown hippo mistake or like the teens are disruptive mistake. For all we know, the SHSAT actually might end with which of the following might be true. And then in that case, you better hope you did write your complements correctly like I did, okay? Make sure you draw out your complements. And every complement has to come solely from the sentences there. Alright? Not from your own opinion or anything like that. And then let's look at K. If Jerry plays soccer, Anita will play also. If Jerry plays soccer, Anita will play also. No, it says nothing about Jerry playing soccer. Alright? It doesn't even say that. It says that Anita plays soccer sometimes, that Crystal plays soccer sometimes. Jerry's not even said to be a soccer player. All that Jerry has to do with this entire question is about whether he's late or not. That's it. Alright? And I'm sorry about that alarm beeping. Alright? So, there we have it. Alright? The only way to answer these kinds of questions, again, let's make a list. I'm going to assume that you can, well, you can. You can just pause this video, remember? And after you have paused it, you can go back, because I do erase things, and you might be thinking, that's really important, why is he erasing it? Alright, so the 2 tips I'm going to give you on how to solve questions like this, alright? Tip number 1 is this. Alright, tip number 1 is write down, let's call them keywords. What are keywords? Keywords are those words over there, right? You want to write down keywords. Number 2, what you want to do is write complementary sentences. Again, this is not complementary. The other complementary is with an I, right? It's C-O-M-P-L-I. That's when you tell someone something nice, something flattering. I'm not asking you to flatter the sentences. That would be insane. I'm asking you to write the flip side of that sentence, all right? Again, the best analogy that I was able to come up with is if I land on heads, the only other possibility was tails, all right? It's something that can't be ignored, all right? It's kind of, this closely relates to probability, all right? So being very good at probability might actually help you out in this, all right? Especially because probability questions can be worded in a very tricky way. Okay, these are the 2 tips so far. Write these down. Alright, these are the 2 things you want to do whenever you do deductive, inductive reasoning questions. The first thing you want to do is write down keywords. Like some, many, most, sometimes, usually, never, always, must be. Alright? Go fishing for those words. After you've written them down, then write complementary sentences. Draw out as many complementary sentences as you can. And if you can, write them in complete sentences, just like the ones that they give you. And then once you have, now for every sentence you can draw out at least one complementary. Okay? Sometimes you can draw out more than one sentence to complement it. Alright? That means to make it complete. That's the root word of this complementary. Alright? So, once you've drawn out all your complementary sentences, all you have to do is scan the choices. And only one of the choices given to you in the test booklet will match one of the possibilities that you wrote down. That either you wrote down or that were given to you for free as part of the question. All the others won't match. They'll contradict either what was in the question originally or what you were able to draw out of the question. Okay? It is extremely important that you always write complementary sentences. Always do it. And for practice, I'm going to give you things and you will have to draw things out. And you'll have to draw them out either with certainties or with possibility or probability. Alright? So if I tell you that something like John would never buy a dark car, and I say, well, does he have to have a white car then? No, because it doesn't follow that just because he doesn't like gray cars or black cars or brown cars, he must necessarily have a white car. He might have a yellow car or a red car, right? So I'm going to give you exercises just like those in a moment, and you'll have to draw complements. And sometimes they won't be just one premise, but a chain of like 2 or 3 premises. And what you have to know is that those 2 or 3 premises, if they're given together to you as a set, the way these questions are given to you together as a set, then they must work in accordance. And the conclusion that you draw out has to respect every single one of the details in those premises. Again, the most important thing to do is to write down the keywords, then to write complementary sentences. Now, we did this one. Here's the next question we're going to do. I wonder if we have enough time. I'll give it a shot. And if we can't finish it, then we just don't finish it this video. We finish it in the next one. No big deal. Alright. There it is. Alright. This is also an actual, a question from an actual SHSAT book. Alright. So, if you're thinking by now, this is getting a bit easier. That's very good. Because it's completely possible to get all the questions right. Okay? In a way, these questions are easier than the reading comprehension questions, because a lot of the reading comprehension questions are actually a lot like these. They're just as difficult in terms of like what the question's asking you to do. But what makes reading comprehension questions more difficult is you have to go back and locate where the answer is. And sometimes you have to read like 5 or 6 paragraphs. And it's hard to find your answer in 5 or 6 paragraphs. Whereas here, it's kind of easy. You just have 2 sentences in front of you. It's very easy to look at those 2 sentences, draw out your complementary sentences, write down your keywords, and then find out which one of the answers matches what you wrote down. Whereas with reading comprehension, sometimes some of the words, they say, which of the following is not a characteristic of, I don't know, a cell. And then you have to go back and look at everything, and sometimes you do have to do deductive reasoning or inductive reasoning, and it's really hard to look for that particular part of the passage that talks about the characteristics or features of a cell. You have to sometimes scan through a whole bunch of information, whereas here you're just scanning through 2 sentences. And as long as you become extremely familiar with how to do deductive and inductive reasoning, and you become familiar with this list over here, as you do words, I don't know where you're getting your questions from. Whatever book you get them from, make sure to fill up these, like, things. If you encounter more words, then fill them up under each category, right? If you find more absolute words or extreme words, put them here. More restrictive words, put them there. I want you to have a nice big pile. And in the comments below, add me some. Say, hey, Vic, these restrictive words, I just discovered these words. They're restrictive words. Or I discovered these words. They're absolute words. That way we can make a nice little collection, alright? Let's get on with this now. Number 20 says, if it is raining, again, the word if means that there's a condition involved, alright? That's a conditional word. If it is raining, the school bus could be late. If it is sunny, the school bus will be on time. Alright, let's go. Let's make a compliment for the first one, alright? If it is raining, the school bus could be late. Wow. Could. Important word. Could. Talks about what? Possibility. Alright? If it is sunny, the school bus will be. What does that mean? 100% certainty, right? Nice. So that first sentence contains a word that has to do with possibility, and the second sentence contains a word that has to do with certainty. And that word, it's not a word, it's a phrase. It's will be. Okay? So, there you go. And where's the other one? Could. Alright? So we should add could here. Alright. No, wrong section. Bam. Here. Alright, could. Got it? So could goes there. Will be was already there. So we're fine. Alright, now we wrote down the key words, and the second thing to do is to write a complement. So let's see, let's find one. If it is raining, the school bus could be late. Alright. Oh look, this here already is a complement to that in a sense. If it is sunny, the school bus will be on time. Alright? So, could be late. Let's try to make this... What does it say about certainty? If it is raining, the school bus could be late. Oh, here it is. Ready? The school bus could be on time if it is raining. I bet you didn't think of that. Or maybe you did. Alright, there it is anyways. Alright? This complements the first sentence. If it is raining, the school bus could be late. But if it is raining, the school bus could also be on time, can't it? It never said, if it is raining, the school bus is never on time. It didn't say that, because then this couldn't be true. It said, if it is raining, the school bus could be late. Therefore, the school bus could also be on time if it is raining. That possibility exists as well, because this does not exclude this. These two can happen. Alright? If it is raining, both things are possible. The school bus could be late, or it could be on time. Because they said could, they opened this possibility up. But here, it's different. If they're talking about something definite, then we can definitely talk about definitely not. Sounds confusing, doesn't it? Alright, let's not turn into Shakespeare. Let's focus. Ready? If it is sunny, the school bus will be on time. Will be on time. If it is sunny. So what does this mean? This is a definite. So if any one of our choices says that the school bus will, well, pretty much if it repeats that sentence, then that's the one we want, alright? So let's see. If it is sunny, the school bus will be on time. Let me think. If it is not sunny, the school bus might also be on time. Why not? Nothing there stops us from saying this. This can complement sentence number 2, can't it? All these are true if it's raining or if it's sunny, whatever the case might be. This was drawn out of that sentence, and this was drawn out of that sentence. All right, let's check our answers now. All right, if one of the answers contradicts one of these things, then we just skip it, and we go on to the next one, and we look for one that is confirmed by either the original 2 sentences that they gave us or the ones that we drew out. Let's find that question again, an official question. There it is. I don't think I showed it to you the first time. Alright, so, again, based only on the information above, that means you're not allowed to insert information of your own. You can't say, oh, but the tires don't work good in the rain, right? That's not what you're supposed to do. Again, if they say the earth is flat, then it's flat. Alright? Based only on the information above, which of the following must be true? They're looking for certainty here, like always. Not like always, we have to be careful with definites, but like most of the time, right? Alright, so, F. The school bus is on time when it is not raining. The school bus is on time when it is not raining. Do any of these say that? That the school bus is on time if it is not raining? No. If it is not raining, it might be on time. Might be on time. Does anything say it is on time if it is not raining? If it is not sunny, the school bus might be on time. The school bus could be on time if it is raining. No, nothing confirms that. None of the things that we drew out confirmed it. Alright? In other words, if there's good weather, because it says the school bus is on time when it is not raining. So if it is sunny or clear or good weather, the school bus is on time. Does it say that? Look, if it is sunny, the school bus will be on time. But this doesn't say sunny. It says the school bus is on time when it is not raining. Okay? So, let's see. Now we go on to the next one. G. The school bus is late when it is cloudy. The school bus is late when it is cloudy. Does anyone say anything about cloudiness? No. So, we won't count that one. Alright? If it is cloudy, it is late? No. In fact, if it is not sunny, the school bus might also be on time, was one of our sentences. That contradicts that one. Alright? I'm starting to realize something. I hope it's not true, but it might be. So G's crossed out. Rain may cause the school bus to be late. H, let's see. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's the right one. Alright? Rain may cause the school bus to be late. The school bus could be on time if it is raining. If it is not sunny, the school bus might be on time. But if it is raining, the school bus could be late. Could is synonymous with what? Look at H. May. Rain may cause the school bus to be late. That's the answer because that's exactly what the first sentence in number 20 says. Same exact thing. May the word may and might are synonymous if used a certain way. Rain may cause a school bus to be late. Alright? Rain may. Where's may? Where do we have? Oh, here. We used could. Could is where? It's here. It's in the pile with might. Right? You can't see it, and that's why you're probably like, what is he talking about? See? There's a pile there. Could, might, can, possibly. Could is a possibility question. So we should put may there. Because usually we don't ask. That's one way to speak English. It still works. Alright? I may come out later. That means I might come out to hang out. See? I use them interchangeably. Might and may in a single sentence to mean the same thing. Might and may both have to do with possibility. And if you just replace may there, that if it is raining, the school bus may be late. That's exactly what H says in other words. So this one was barely logical reasoning. Shame. I kind of wanted to do logical reasoning. This one was more like just replacing the word. The word could with the word may. But that's why I guess it's called verbal, right? You have to be close to the words. So we added a new word to our pile. Alright? It's a word I should have known. It's just that, I don't know. I tend to hear people say might more than may. But may and might both convey possibility, alright? Alright, so that solves this one. Those are 3 questions from the actual SHSAT. I'll show you the other ones if you want, but they probably, let me see. I love it when they include absurd answers. If the bus is, let's see, if the bus is late, it must be raining. Definitely not true, because look, the bus could be on time if it is raining. See? The bus could be on time if it is raining. That totally contradicts option J. If the bus is late, it must be raining, because that one says must. That's an absolute. And here, it says the school bus could be on time if it is raining. That was drawn directly as a complement to sentence number 1 in question number 20. And then the last one says the school bus is on time more than it is late. That's just insane. I love those kind of questions. All right. That would require you like being a meteorologist and having a record, and that's just silly because none of this information supports that, all right, or even suggests that. So here we have it. The key, again, is to write down keywords. That's step number 1, write down keywords. Like I underlined these and then put them here. And I said, what's could? Could belongs to that pile, the possibility pile, so I drew an arrow. And then will be talks about 100% certainty because it's part of the absolute pile, right, from over there. Remember, you have your pile there, and you're going to add me some words too as you encounter them on the comments below. And then we wrote our complements. So step 1, keywords. Step 2 is to make your complements. All right. So you made your complement sentences. This one was for sentence 1 in question 20, and this one was for sentence 2 in question 20. And then we just ran down the list, and actually we didn't even need to do that much logical reasoning, right? We just needed to find the sentence that actually says the same exact thing as the first one, but instead of using the word could, used the word might. So to some degree, this is going to conclude our actual lesson, and we're still going to, in the next video, I'm going to talk a bit more about it. I'm going to summarize, and then I'm going to try to come up with a bunch of examples to give you so that you can do them on your own. Some exercises, all right? Perhaps we'll think together too. Really interesting stuff. Stick to it. It is completely possible to get all questions that are inductive/deductive reasoning correct. Even if you happen to see this video just 1 week before the actual SHSAT, it's still completely possible to get all inductive/deductive reasoning questions correct. All right? Good luck. Study hard every day. See you guys.